So guys, of course, we have the Datamines as well. Stuff that it's hidden that we didn't know, and it came to the light by the mighty Zabi, right? So, yeah, let's take a look on some of these Datamines. Thank you, Zabi, for doing this. And some of the stuff that I couldn't find in the previous video. He just posted it. So it means that, of course, it isn't a big one, I don't think. Like, I saw it and it wasn't pretty big. But there are some interesting things over here, guys. So the first thing is that obviously we had a major change to the F-16s. So not only the SUFA, this one, it got a massive, not a like a huge, but I mean it's pretty significant power output decrease. So it's a NERF. So the SUFA got a NERF, right? It actually got a change in the drag as well. It's a little bit lower, but the main thing is that it lost thrust, okay? And the F-16C, this one, actually got a power increase, which is pretty interesting. I didn't expect this. I mean, look at the power of this thing. So let's take a look on the numbers, the old and new numbers of both engine thrusts that got changed. This is going to be the main change of all the Datamines over here. It's a massive change for the F-16C, and if you are an American main that uses this aircraft, you can rejoice. Of course, you have to understand, guys, that this thing still does not use DC-5, okay? So, although, yes, it does have more performance, of course, the SUFA will have, I mean, barely has more performance, but the SUFA will have the better missile and the better radar, okay? Just to get that out of the way. So here we have it. This is for the F-16C, okay? So the older model, it's the blue one. And the gold one is the new one. So you can see that basically here we have a power difference, okay? So in the lower airspeeds, as you can see, in the higher altitudes, this is depending on altitude and everything, right? So, for example, the clearer the image here, the higher the altitude it is. So for example, with lower altitude over here, you can clearly see that it is producing at up to like 800 kilometers per hour, a lot more power than was before. At the end of the day here, I know in the higher speeds, it is almost similar, almost the same. But then if you go to a higher altitude, for example, 3,000 meters over here, you can see that the increase is a little bit more narrow, but a little bit longer. And here, the two that really changed it up everything, right? So at 6,000 and 9,000 meters, you can see that it has a severe increase in thrust, especially at 9,000. Look at this. In 9,000 is crazy, man. It's just at like 1,500 kilometers per hour to like 2,000. It's just incredible. I don't know what's the VNE of these altitudes for these aircraft, but it's just crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Look at this. It's a lot more power. So the F-16C is producing a lot more thrust than it was before. Okay? So that's why it kind of feels like the SUFA got a massive nerf. It is a nerf, but it's not as big as you might think. It's just that if you compare to the C model also got better, right? So there is that. If we go to the F-16I SUFA, you can see the differences over here depending on situation. So the old is the blue one, and the gold one, like the orange one here, is the new one, right? So you can clearly see that up to like 1,000 kilometers per hour, we do have a decreasing thrust, but it's not as big as you might think, especially in the lower altitudes. It's almost the same. In the higher altitudes, you can see that you have a severe, like it's significant on the very least, right? And then in the very, very high altitudes, it doesn't change much. But so in the lower airspeeds, it will change, but not as much. Where it actually matters here is in the higher speeds, okay? So for example, here at around 1,300, 1,400, look at the amount of energy that you're gonna lose because of the less power new model. So the Pratt & Whitney engine is producing a lot less thrust. This is the amount of difference. I mean, look at this. You can see that it's like around 20 kilonewtons less, more or less, which is an insane amount of thrust that it's losing, okay? The VNE at these altitudes will be very much like this. So these other things don't mind, but doesn't matter. But yeah, you can see that at like 3,000 meters, it doesn't matter too much. It is getting closer to the VNE, right? And then it loses out a lot of thrust over here. But, I mean, these speeds are almost impossible at these. I mean, you can get above these, but not by much. So it won't change too much, but it's still kind of scary. At 9,000 meters, you can see overall just decreases, a pretty significant one overall. Not like this, but it's like 10 kilonewtons to like 2 or 3 across the board over here, depending on the speed. At the 9,000, you can see that it's a clear change as well, especially if you go to a very high speed. You lose, 25, 30 kilonewtons maybe of less power, And of course, here in the max speed, 12,000 meters, for example, you will lose, max speed over here will be around here somewhere, and you will lose 30 to 40 kilonewtons. So it's an enormous amount of power that you are losing, okay? But in the higher airspeeds and higher altitudes. In the lower airspeeds and lower altitudes, it doesn't change much. So the acceleration in a normal combat scenario will somewhat be similar, okay? That's why if we go here to StatShark and actually look at time to speed with the new models, you will see that before the F-16I was much better than the F-16C. Now they are pretty much the same, see? Because the C got a buff and the SUFA got a nerf, okay? Obviously, if we change the altitude over here, let's put like 12,000 meters. Let's put like 2,200 over here. Oh, for some reason it's not doing. Oh, hold up. Let's do like 1,000. Just because it kind of stalls the aircraft there, right? But you will notice something that it is more prominent over here, okay? So in the higher altitudes and the higher airspeeds, you can see that F-16C will be much better. And that's because where the SUFA is where the real, like, the problem is in the higher altitudes and higher speeds, right? So if you put it in these speeds and altitudes, you will see that it loses out quite a little bit more, okay? So, yeah, very interesting, of course, that the SUFA is indeed getting nerfed and the C out of nowhere getting buffed, but these are it, right? So it's significant. I'm not going to say like it's game-changing, but it's significant, which makes, these F-16s should be a little bit different. Another change is for the radars of the BUK. Okay, so the BUK received a new range for the radar. I couldn't understand if it was for the tracking radar or the TLR radar or the Kobu or whatever the name. Is it Kobu? I always forget the name of this radar. I mean, it's just the 9S18 here. But I'm pretty sure it is this vehicle's radar. Oh my God. Hold up. It's difficult to actually see it. Yeah, there you go. I'm pretty sure it is for the Viking radar, but I don't know exactly. Let me actually see. 140. I don't know, but they increased the range limit to 120 kilometers. The narrow lock patterns and everything, white patterns and everything. I'm pretty sure they're just messing with the TLR radar. It's just better and yeah, just a little bit more usable. I already tested a little bit, but yeah. Another thing is that the Giraffe radar of the Sky Saber is better as well. So this radar here, the Giraffe AMB, got a range limit of 120 kilometers. So if the target is big enough, it might actually see it above the 65 kilometers, right? Depending on the target. So yeah, and that's kind of it, guys. That's kind of it. So there are other minor things, but these are the main ones. Again, I mean, this is a data mine video, guys, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, it kind of became a F-16 video. So even the thumb, I probably will kind of focus more on the F-16s because that's the main change that we had that I didn't already show, right? So yeah, it is pretty significant. I'm pretty excited to see the F-16C becoming a little bit better. Honestly, Gaijin, if you are listening to this, you could add, if you're listening, another Block 50 over here, but a Block 52 folded with this for us to actually have us, an option with engine, right? That would be very cool. So I don't know. Maybe in the future we will have the Block 52 Plus or something in the US. I don't know, or even a V model exported. I don't know, like something crazy like that. But yeah, it's very interesting to see the F-16C becoming better than what it was. I wasn't expecting this change, and it's pretty significant. So this aircraft is going to be much better. Remember, 13.7 BR, no M120C5s, okay? But basically, this is it. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye, guys. See ya.